to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of April 18th. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. So this week we returned to Bridgerton season 2 and also the Afterparty. So we'll start with Bridgerton. Episode 2 was called Off to the Races because they literally went to a horse race. But of course, it's also about the race to make the best match and for both the boys and girls to find the one.
Oh, my.
More importantly, their parents, I guess.
Yes, or their bossy older sisters.
Right. So we had, and there's
are we already here at episode 2 saying, "Oh, Anthony, Kate, kiss already"?
Right, episode 2.
We could have just called it that. I was ready by the end of episode 1, to be honest.
Yeah,
we know it's coming. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I don't remember if we mentioned last week that the Featherington family has their new heir who has arrived.
Yes, we did. And that he's a young dude and not
a young dude
an
from
elderly fellow.
The US of A. But in this time, he's redecorating.
Sort of a huntsman theme.
He's hiding in the study during a wedding of one of the 3 daughters. Like, yeah, I'm not.
And the in-laws are like, you did get the dowry, right? You did get the dowry.
Where is it? Yes.
Golly. And worst of all is that he appears to have an eye for the horrible young lady we have been encouraged to loathe for these 2 seasons.
Cressida Cowper, I believe is the name.
Oh, should she become the lady of the manor, things will become most unpleasant for Mrs. Featherington.
But seeing as how Mrs. Featherington is herself very unpleasant,
right?
We
shan't feel so sorry for her. And we share in the bemusement of the maid, who's probably secretly thinking, "You deserve this, lady." But poor Penelope.
Yes.
What will become
Penelope? Has been
put
pining
in friend zone by the man she loves.
She really has.
Man.
Just a devastating conversation. Oh my gosh.
Ollie, we wanted to like you so much.
Yeah.
Young Mr. Bridgerton. And yet you are a capital R rake.
He's not a rake. He's just a doofus who doesn't see what's going on. And
a cad? Can we say he's a cad?
I don't know, because he just
doesn't realize. No, he's just
clueless.
Okay. So we feel like if he had a clue, he would be interested? Or do we feel like he sees her as not?
Well, it's just that he doesn't see what he's not picking up what she's putting down.
That is definitely true.
And he just, he's not deliberately being mean to her, but he's being mean by not noticing her.
Yes. By, eyeing all the other ladies in the room while he's talking to his good buddy, Penelope, who's
right. You're not a woman.
Got into that Penelope. Stupid dress with her chest shoved up to almost her neck for you boy, you silly boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the bow in the hair is just what makes it particularly horrible.
Right. But, and then, of course, there was the scene with Penelope and Edwina where we got to see just how angelic Edwina is because she was kind to Penelope.
She was very kind. We like her. We hope that she will find somebody non-caddish and rakish, but also somebody with a pulse.
Yes.
It's a very, very narrow pathway to tread through these suitors here to find one that is worthy of you, my dear.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
even though they are lined up about 20 deep in the hallway.
Oh dear. I don't know. On the one hand, as Eloise would argue, it's sort of a barbaric practice. You're sort of like, getting picked off by all these gentlemen, and who will you get stuck with for the rest of your miserable life. On the other hand, I have a daughter who's older than Miss 20 and 6 Kate. And if there had been a way to, put her out there and say, hey guys, over here, it's kind of appealing.
Right. To interview them and be interviewed by them.
There was too much power amongst the adults then, too little now. Oh man, I'd go to a ball. I'd take her to a ball. I'd put her in a push-up bra.
I was going to say, how high up are you going to push them?
I'd put a silly bow in her hair. Here you go, guys. Look.
Right. I think one of the things that's so fun about this show is the passive aggressive everything, like wouldn't Miss Edwina like some lemonade? It's very hot. And just everything they say is like a completely veiled message to somebody else.
The dude who was took her to the races seemed like he had a little game until he fell for the lemonade trick, man.
Right.
Unless Anthony already set it up with you, as he did with the doctor distracting Kate, then man, you got to find an easier target than the diamond of the season.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep hoping she will take a sparkle to somebody else, but she still seems to be most enamored of Anthony, who is not for her.
Edwina.
Not for you, sweetie. Yes.
Yeah.
Not for you.
Well, he's trying.
Yeah, he is.
Because he doesn't know what's good for him.
That's right. Well, he does. He just doesn't want to accept it.
Right.
And many knowing looks by his mama. Every time he made big cow eyes at Kate, she was like, check.
Yes.
So.
And I find myself just not very interested in the whole, like, who will Penelope be unmasked as
Why doesn't
Lady
she just
Whistledown?
tell Eloise? It's her best friend. Why wouldn't she just tell her? Did you think she wouldn't believe her?
Yeah, good question.
I do wonder why she doesn't just say, hey, buddy, let's have some fun with this together, shall we?
Right.
It doesn't seem to be any, except that Eloise is kind of silly and might blurt it out to everybody. But other than that.
And because Eloise has kind of been dissing Lady Whistledown.
Yeah, but even then, even before, she didn't tell her, and she could have.
Right.
So it just seems like one of those things that is being done to keep a plot going.
Right, but it seems unnecessary to me.
I mean,
there's plenty of other.
I would like Penelope to have like a friend and a cohort here. Instead, she has like one guy who's just completely oblivious to her, and another, oblivious to her as anything other than his childhood buddy.
Right.
And another who she's keeping secrets from, very, very conscientiously and directly keeping secrets from. So who is there for her? I feel sorry. I worry about her.
Yes. And then meanwhile, I feel like Eloise, would never admit this, but, was kind of intrigued by the printer that she went.
Yes, definitely. I saw that.
So I could see that.
Yes.
And boy, wouldn't Anthony love that if his sister was with some printer who prints feminist pamphlets.
I fear that would not be permitted.
Just a working class guy who prints feminism.
They would have to run away to someplace else.
They're already in the wrong part of town, so she could just hang out over there and nobody would see her.
Yeah.
Oh.
But, interesting. The queen has zebras. That's something I don't think we knew before. Did we know that before?
No.
That was a thing people did.
And an elephant. And 15
she has a
children.
lot of time on her hands, Queen. Yeah, she has 15 children and she still has time to collect zebras. Okay.
Right.
Although presumably she's gotten them all off, married and out of the house, out of town, out of the palace, wherever. What exactly is her setup? I don't know. But, such intrigue. Who will wind up with whom, and how long will it take them? Just guess already.
It will take approximately 9 episodes, or 8, or however many there. I believe we said there were 8. So
yeah, how long?
That's my guess.
How long for Kate and Anthony to kiss and whatever, and how long before Penelope takes a frying pan upside of Colin's head and says, "Yo, I'm standing here in a pretty dress. Why do you think I'm here, dummy?" Yes. Well, not so much a pretty dress as the kind of dress my mother thinks appropriate, but still.
Right.
Still.
I believe it's last year's dress because they couldn't afford a new one.
Oh, poor Penelope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, shall we move on from the mysteries of Bridgerton to the mystery singular of the after party?
More parties
yes,
everywhere.
We're all about parties. So
were people standing up and doing poetry at the after party? I don't think so. Were people doing magic tricks and jigs?
Little jigs.
Maybe things would have turned out differently if they had.
That's right. Well, episode 2 of the after party is titled Brett. Mm-hmm. So, this, as we sort of expected, each episode is focused on one person's sort of version of the events of the eventful evening. And it's also told in a different genre each time. So this one was kind of the Fast and Furious style. I guess that's its own whole genre.
Sort of action adventure-y.
Yes.
But at the same time made a guy who was pretty scary in the first episode in Anique's telling. Just kind of not exactly a softie, but he just wanted his kids stuff.
Just wanted his kids koala.
That was cute.
Yes,
so
and it did answer it did answer the question I had from last week, which is, where is this little girl?
Yes.
Because I thought she, did he leave her at the reunion? Like, he was supposed to be in charge of her. So
right.
Now we know he loves car chases
with a child in the back.
Right. Well, she had a 7-point harness. So.
That's right. And airbags. Oh, and she seemed to be digging it.
Oh, totally. Yeah, she was loving it.
Yeah, that was a fun detail. I was thinking, is this going to turn out to be not true? But it appears that the actual child was located, so they're in the car. So
right. I mean, I think all of them are, obviously sort of the way people, the motivations and the, internal stuff, can appear differently in different people's stories.
Right.
But facts like who exactly was where and when.
We're to take that as not a violent guy trying to make himself look like not a murderer, but in fact, this was his true story.
Right.
That's kind of sweet. But I could have done without the dueling pee scene that went on. Oh my goodness, so very long.
So long. Yes. Between Brett and Xavier at the...
I guess a pissing match is what they were going for, but...
Right, that's really what they were...
necessarily.
We didn't need the literal.
Right. We could have heard somebody hearing it from another room. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just alarming. But other than that, this was pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, very little of, I guess, the first episode, they had to set the scene a little bit more with introducing more of the characters. And in this one, they could really just zero in on Brett and his actions.
We also do have Anique and Yasper listening in from the bathroom below.
Right.
And hopefully.
Well, and also focusing on this, finding this ripped up note.
Yes. Which seems threatening and has the same kind of ease as Anique has written on his neck. Poor guy has not been able to wash that stuff off. Did somebody use permanent marker?
Pretty sure that was a Sharpie.
Brutal. That is brutal, man. How do you get rid of that? You just have to wait till your skin flex off.
I feel
over
like
time?
you have to use, nail polish remover or something.
I bet Xavier has some nail polish remover somewhere in his house. He looks like the kind of dude who would. Also, again, in this episode, Xavier, not so sad he went off the balcony.
Right. Yes.
Although we I guess learned apparently he was in a movie called Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Yeah, I think that came up
in the first one because I totally missed it. And when the girl kept talking about it, I was like, "Is this a movie that actually exists?" And then I realized, no, this is this is Xavier's oeuvre.
Yeah,
but,
I think it.
I think they did show some.
One.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so she's excited to meet him, and her dad is chagrined.
Right. I love him. This is her response. No.
That is a very good little child actress. She didn't have too much to do in the first episode, but she pulled it out in this stuff. She was very good.
Yes.
Real and yet did what needed to be done.
Right.
So.
And got reunited with Kevin the koala. Thank goodness.
These things are important.
Uh-huh.
Not that you would necessarily do a high-speed chase late at night to get it, but you definitely would go through a dumpster. So maybe this is better.
Yeah, this is more fun.
Yeah,
for the adult. Right. Going through the dumpster. For sure.
Anyway, so when we also the police investigator's partner is on to her that she is not actually in charge of the investigation.
Right.
But she has an agenda of some sort that she wants to pursue, and she doesn't like the guy coming from LA.
Right.
And so she wants to solve it tonight.
Yes.
And Anik also wants to solve it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So there's sleuthing afoot all about. Hopefully we do not have a full episode with creepy big glasses girl, because she made a pitch to Brett for breast milk cheese.
The importance of breast milk cheese.
And I don't need 45 minutes of that.
You don't need to hear about that.
Just little soupçons of her here and there is just perfect. Because it's like, oh, that's that girl you ran down the hall the other direction to avoid in high school. Yes. Here she is.
Right. Well, we definitely won't be hearing from her next week, or we won't be devoted to her next week, because next week's episode is titled Yasper, which is Ben Schwartz, aka Jean-Ralphio.
But on this.
Yes. So we'll get that for the after party, episode 3. And then in Bridgerton season 2, episode 3 is called A Bee in Your Bonnet. So we'll look forward to those.
It's not literal bees, because that would be fun.
Yeah. That is going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.